This is news analysis coming to you live on Politics and Business Television Abuja. Good afternoon and many thanks for joining us on the program for today. I'm Fatima Abubakar Oyibo. The headlines. Tinubu Sultan Governors storm Abuja for National Editors Conference. House suspends plenary as budget tensions boil over. Legal expert votes naval officer in clash with Wike. And on the foreign scene, Israel's strategic affairs minister steps down after hostage deal. Details of the stories and more to come shortly after the break. Do stay with us. Welcome back, and now the news in full. President Bola Tinubu today declared upon the 21st All-Nigerian Editors Conference at the State House Conference Center, Aso Villa, Abuja. The high-profile event, organized by the Nigerian Guild of Auditors, drew over 500 editors from across the country, alongside ministers, media executives, diplomats and academics. The Sultan of Sokoto, His Eminence Alhaji Muhammad Sa'ad Abubakar, and Prince Nduka Obaigbena, chairman of Arise News and This Day newspaper, chaired key sessions, while Imo State Governor Hope Uzodinma delivered the keynote address. Also in attendance were Governors Dauda Lawal of Zamfara, Caleb Muftwang of Plateau, Abdullahi Sule of Nasarawa, and Abba Kabir Yusuf of Kano, among others. The two-day conference is expected to tackle pressing issues in journalism, media ethics, and national development, with corporate partners like Airpeace and NNPCL lending support. The gathering underscores the growing synergy between government and the media in shaping Nigeria's democratic future. Meanwhile, the House of Representatives abruptly adjourned plenary on Tuesday following a heated closed-door session over the alleged selective implementation of the 2024 budget and unpaid debts to indigenous contractors. Speaker Abbas Tajuddin called for the executive session shortly after proceedings began, with lawmakers reportedly expressing deep satisfaction over fiscal irregularities and the preferential release of funds for capital projects. Outside the National Assembly, aggrieved contractors staged a protest, barricading entrances and demanding payment for completed projects. The disruption delayed access to the complex and intensified pressure on lawmakers, prompting a motion to suspend sittings until the federal government addresses the outstanding obligations. The House is expected to reconvene after 1 week pending resolution of the crisis. And in another development, the senior advocate of Nigeria, Professor Sebastian Honorable, has condemned the conduct of naval officer A.M. Yerima during a recent confrontation with the Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Nyesom Wike. The officer reportedly obstructed Wike's access to a disputed parcel of land in Abuja, citing superior orders. Professor Hon described the action as a clear breach of the law, stating that military obedience does not justify unlawful interference with civil authority. The incident, which sparked public debate, has raised concerns about the limits of military involvement in civilian matters. Hon emphasized that no military directive should override constitutional provisions, especially when dealing with elected officials. He urged authorities to investigate the matter thoroughly and ensure accountability to prevent future occurrences. Let's watch the news analysis right here on Politics and Business Television Abuja. Still to come, World Bank flags poor targeting in Nigeria's social welfare programs. Details of this headline and more news content after a quick break. Stay with us. Welcome back. Now on to business matters. A new report by the World Bank has revealed that only 44% of social safety net benefits in Nigeria actually reach poor households, despite billions of naira spent annually to alleviate hardship. Titled The State of Social Safety Nets in Nigeria, as a November 2025 report highlights poor targeting, weak funding, and fragmented implementation as major obstacles preventing vulnerable Nigerians from accessing meaningful relief. The report also shows that while 56% of beneficiaries are poor, the distribution of benefits remains skewed, leaving millions unreached. With over 120 million Nigerians living in poverty as of 2023, the findings raise urgent questions about the effectiveness of current welfare schemes. The federal government, through the Ministry of Finance, has pledged to reach 15 million households via a digital cash grant initiative, but experts warn that without structural reforms, the impacts may remain limited. Moving on to the foreign scene, Israel's Strategic Affairs Minister Don Dermer has resigned from his cabinet position following the successful negotiations of a Gaza ceasefire and the return of hostages held in Palestinian territory. Dermer, a close confidant of Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, played a pivotal role in months-long talks that led to the October 10th agreement. In his resignation letter, he stated that the government would be defined by the October 7 attacks and the two-year war that followed. Dermer had previously signaled his intent to step down, citing personal commitments and a two-year service promise to his family. While stepping away from his ministerial duties, he will continue to handle sensitive assignments personally entrusted to him by Netanyahu. His responsibilities will now be shared between the National Security Council and Israel's ambassador to Washington, Yechel Lester. And now for sport news, let's join Abel Sunday.
Good day and welcome to P&B Sport News. I'm Abel Sunday. Tension in Morocco as the Super Eagles have reportedly boycotted training ahead of Thursday's 2026 FIFA World Cup playoff against Gabon. Players and officials skipped to Tuesday's session over unpaid bonuses and allowance, some dating back to 2019, including reward for AFCON and World Cup qualification. The team awaits a quick resolution before kickoff. Meanwhile, CAF has confirmed key rules for the playoffs. Extra time and penalties will decide tie matches, with team allowed 5 substitutions in regulation and 6 in extra time. VAR will also be used for all decisive moments. And in Qatar, African nations are shining at the FIFA Under-17 World Cup. 9 of the 10 representatives advanced past the group stage. Only Ivory Coast failed to progress, while Senegal topped their group. The rest include South Africa and Morocco continue to fly Africa's flag proudly. That's your update on P&B Sport News. I'm Abel Sunday.
Welcome back. Let's move to our focus today, the segment where we go beyond the headlines to uncover the stories shaking Nigeria's power corridors. Today, we turn our lens on a controversy that has ignited public outrage and stirred the nation's security community. The verbal confrontation between the Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Barrister Wike, and a uniformed military officer during an official function in Abuja on November 11th, 2025. Former Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Tukur Buratai, has described the incident as a direct threat to national security and the integrity of the armed forces. In his words, and I quote, "This cannot be dismissed as political theater. It is reckless endangerment of national order." He insists that Wike must issue a public apology to the Commander-in-Chief, the armed forces, and the officer involved. While videos from the scene flooded social media within hours, showing Wike gesturing angrily at a soldier while aides and security operatives looked on, visibly wrote, "If a minister can insult a soldier in public, what hope do ordinary Nigerians have for discipline and respect in government?" Another user defended Wike, saying, "Wike is a no-nonsense leader. Maybe that officer needed correction. The army should also learn humility." On Facebook, a commenter under one of the posts said, "This is why our institutions are weak, because politicians believe they are above the uniform." And on WhatsApp groups, the tone was even sharper. Somebody said Wike forgets saying that this same army, they protect him convoy. You don't shout at uniform in public. It's a slap on national discipline. The reactions show a deep divide among Nigerians between those who admire Wike's strong-handed leadership style and those who see his outburst as a dangerous erosion of respect for the military chain of command. Many retired officers have warned that such behavior, even checked, could send a dangerous signal to troops in the field, especially at a time when the country faces insecurity on multiple fronts. After the break, we'll be joining us to unpack this tension between political authority and military discipline is Comrade Bitakwa Abubakar Umar, the spokesperson of the Rebuild Arewa Initiative for Development. He's an educationist, public affairs analyst, and a politician. He's going to be joining us via WhatsApp call. We'll go on a short break and try to connect with Comrade Bitakwa. Stay with us, don't go anywhere. Welcome back. This is our topic, Wike's outburst and the military. Is it a threat to national security? And we are joined by Comrade Bitakwa Abubakar Umar, the spokesperson of Rebuild Arewa Initiative Development. Comrade, welcome to the program.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Comrade Bitakwa, what was your first reaction when you saw the video of Minister Wike confronting the soldier? Do you agree, Lieutenant General Buratai, that this is not just misconduct but an outright threat to national security?
The truth of the matter is people are where they should not be in government. That's the truth of it. It's just that the way we operate things in Nigeria, we do things haphazardly. The right people are not always the people to occupy public offices. Public offices is a trust. There are ethics and standards by which whenever you occupy public office, you should be able to abide by. But over time, consistently, we have seen the Honorable Minister of FCT, Professor Barrister Wike, who is not only who is a learned individual, instructing people flappantly on media and physically. Yesterday, we can see another dimension of his outburst, where he was assaulting a military officer. I think what should have been done is, first of all, for the Nigerian police and other paramilitary that are serving as his own aid to stage a process of a kind of bestowed upon our security agencies. So it is very, very unfortunate. It is disgraceful. It is a kind of embarrassment not only to the minister or not only to Nigerians, but to Nigeria as a nation. I think civil society should be able to react vehemently, protest for the removal of the honorable minister. This is what I have to say.
Okay, so some Nigerians argue that Wike's action reflects strong leadership. Do you think Nigerians are now beginning to mistake intimidation for firmness in leadership?
Leadership doesn't go with insult. Leadership doesn't go with dehumanizing people that you are overseeing.
Should an apology be enough, or should there be official sanctions for this kind of behavior?
In fact, the right thing should be done is all the military cannot be arrogant to other Nigerians, particularly to people who are guiding the sovereignty and the integrity of our nation, Nigeria. So what he did was quite a kind of embarrassment, not only to this thing, but to our nation.
Okay. Finally.
So this kind of behavior should not be condoned in public when it comes to public office holders and the minister of that matter.
Okay, my last question for you before I let you go. What message should the federal government send in response to this controversy to reassure both the armed forces and the Nigerian people that respect for the uniform still matters?